I'm sorry, before I go any further, make sure you follow me on Instagram if you're currently watching this on YouTube at ACT Real MC. If you're watching this on Instagram, then subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right, cool. So tonight we are talking about love versus lust. If you follow me on Instagram, I posted a love versus lust picture that kind of gave some examples of what love is versus what lust actually is. And yeah, so when it comes to love, those of you who have read the Bible, or if you read the Bible, or if you heard this phrase before, you know that love is patient, love is kind, love is self-sacrificing, and all that good stuff. You know, that's really what love is. When you are in love with a significant other, you are willing to go above and beyond the extra mile to do whatever you can for that person, to make sure that they're happy, to make sure that they're satisfied, and to make sure that they feel protected and feel worth it. You know what I'm saying? That's when you are really, really in love with someone. When you're in love with someone, you have taken time to purposely establish a solid foundation. Now, when you're in love with someone, I'm not saying that hard times won't come. I'm not saying that you won't go through certain things. And I'm certainly not saying that you won't have your doubts and disagreements. But what I am saying is love is what's going to keep you guys, because of those three things that I mentioned in the beginning. Love is patient. All right, so let's just be real. When you have a significant other, that person is going to get on your nerves. It happens. You can't avoid it. But you have patience enough to deal with it and to understand that, hey, above all things, the good outweighs the bad any day. You know what I'm saying? Love is kind. You always feel the need, no matter what, to do whatever you can for that person to make sure that they're happy. Even when you're mad at them. You may not feel like doing it at the time, but eventually it'll come back around. And love is self-sacrificing. You are willing to go above and beyond. That's sacrifice. Love is sacrifice, and sacrifice is true love. Especially when it comes to a significant other. You know what I'm saying? But then you have that other side. That's the light side. You have the dark side. The dark side is lust. And I have an acronym for lust. I actually came up with it in one of my songs back in 2012. It's called Living Under Sexual Temptation. I know lust can mean various different things, but for the sake of tonight, in the context of the lesson, we're going to say living under sexual temptation. So when you lust after someone, that is when you are basically looking at them and over-sexualizing them / doing sexual things. Now, I'm not saying that doing sexual things alone is lust. Not saying that at all. But what I am saying is when there's only an emphasis put on sex alone and no foundation of love or relationship matter of progressing forward, that is lust. I'll give you an example. Fellas, let's be real for a second. I told you I was going to go off the deep end just a little bit. When you walk by a woman, right? You see she got a big butt, big chest, big thighs. Shawty look good. If you notice her and you just look once because you walking by, you might say, oh, she cute. Cool beans. As soon as you take that second look, that double, that look where you see her once, but then you look back at it, you're already lusting. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're thinking thoughts, and let's not act like we don't think thoughts, fellas. Let's be real. Now you're thinking, this is a person that, I could, I would, You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. I've done it. We've all done it. You know what I'm saying? And ladies, you ain't excused either. You've done it too. Working out in the gym, see that guy wearing sweatpants and you looking down, you know what you're looking for? You're looking for that imprint. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100 now. You know what I'm saying? But on a serious note, when you start to do that, you're already lusting after a person. And here's the problem with lust. Because we already live in an overly sexually saturated environment, right? The problem with lust is there is no foundation and there is no boundaries. And when you have a relationship with people, with anybody, but especially a significant other, boundaries have to be set in place. Lust has no boundaries. And when you don't have any boundaries, you have everlasting problems because you didn't have anything in place that would help when those problems arise. See, when you have love, the beautiful thing about love, being patient, kind, and self-sacrificing, is that even on the bad days, you remember what brought you guys together. And that's not to say that it's always going to work out just because you're in love with somebody, but that's to say that it makes things a lot smoother because you started off the right way. When you love somebody, you start off the right way. When you lust after somebody, you start off wrong. And like one of my freshman brothers told me a long time ago, when you start a relationship off wrong, you end wrong. All right? If you start off right, that's not to say that it's going to work out, but at least you'll give it a fighting chance. But as I stated before, when you lust after an individual, there are no boundaries set. You know what I'm saying? So now you're in a situation when you're lusting and you're dealing in lust where 9 times out of 10, let's just keep it 100. When you get involved with somebody and it's just straight lustful, it's probably just sexual, recreational activity, as most people would like to say, and nothing more. Here's the problem with that. What happens when the sex is not as good as it used to be? You might be thinking to yourself, oh, man, hey, that poom poom on point. Or, hey, you know, his stroke game good. You know what I'm saying? Or you may be thinking to yourself, you know, man, she got some bomb. She gives some bomb, you know what? Some toppy top and, you know, all that good stuff. I'm just keeping it real tonight. You know what I'm saying? You say all those things, but what happens when it's not good anymore? Now you have nothing else to rely on. And that's why I feel as though friends with benefits and situationships are problematic. Because once you have nothing else to rely on, now you're in a situation to where somebody done caught feelings, because somebody always catches feelings because of sex. Let's just keep it real, right? And now the other person that thinks it's not good anymore gets bored, is looking for the next best thing. And I think that's what the problem is with lust ultimately. You will always be left feeling empty, looking for the next best thing. I think a great way to describe this is the difference between drinking water and drinking soda. When you drink water, water quenches your thirst. You drink enough water, not only does it keep you full, but it keeps you less thirsty. But if you drink a whole bunch of soda, you're going to keep running back to get more soda. Why? Because soda doesn't quench your thirst. That's like love and lust. When you have love, you don't have to worry about going back and forth and looking for other things, because you have a solid foundation, because you have things that are everlasting. But when you have lust is like soda. You can't get enough. You keep coming back for more. When I say can't get enough, I don't mean that in a good way. Now, some of y'all may be wondering, well, Marcus, is it possible to lust after someone that you love? Yes, it is. And you have to be very careful and bring yourself back when that starts to happen, because it is possible that love can completely turn into lust if you don't have the right foundation. Is it possible to love someone that you started lusting after initially? Yes, it is, but it's not as likely, because again, it goes back to my original point. You start off wrong, it's a possibility you can end wrong. So you have to be very careful and be very mindful when it comes to that. All right. So I think that was a great analogy, by the way. You know, just making sure that you are always loving someone. You know what I'm saying? That's not to say that you won't develop sexual feelings for that person, because just keeping it real, if you're attracted to someone physically, you're going to become sexually attracted to them at some point as well. There's nothing wrong with that. That is completely natural. You just have to be careful and understand and make sure that you don't go about it the wrong way. All right. So that's all I'm saying for tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining in, regardless if it's tonight or whatever time you're watching this. Greatly appreciate it. We talked about love versus lust. I just forgot what the lesson is for next week, y'all. I'm sorry. I apologize. Ooh, I'm losing it. But nevertheless, I'm going to see you guys next Tuesday. This is Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Again, if you're watching this on Instagram, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that notification button. If you're watching this on YouTube, same thing for you. Hit that notification button if you're not already following me. And you can follow me on Instagram at ACTRealMC. I hope you guys have an awesome day. I hope you guys learned something out of this. And if you have any comments, feel free to leave them below. All right? Till next Tuesday. Peace.